Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're going to try to settle one of those classic sports arguments.
The one that always ends in a shouting match at a bar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which championship is actually the hardest to win? NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB.
And we're not just going on, fan opinion here. Our sources actually break this down with data.
Right. We're talking physiological trauma, cognitive load, and a whole lot of math. It's basically broken bones and spreadsheets.
So let's start with the most obvious one, the physical toll. You'd think the NFL takes this category, no question.
Well, the data backs that up. I was looking at this athlete exposure rate. The NFL sits at about 75.4.
And what does that mean in, real terms?
It averages out to roughly 7 injuries per professional game.
7. Wow, it really is a car crash every Sunday. And that acute trauma creates this unique structural pressure.
Because the playoffs are single elimination?
Exactly. One bad day, your quarterback twists an ankle in the first quarter, and that's it. Your season is just deleted. There's no game 2 to recover.
But while football has that acute violent trauma, the sources suggest the NHL actually wins on pure attrition.
That's the key distinction, right? It's the sheer volume of the violence.
An 82-game season.
And then, to win the Cup, you have to survive 4 best-of-7 series. That's potentially another 28 games of high-speed collisions.
And they play through things that would bench athletes in any other sport. The Patrice Bergeron example from 2013 is always the benchmark.
Oh, with the punctured lung and the broken ribs?
He played in the finals like that.
Yeah.
That perfectly illustrates that warrior ethos the data highlights.
Yeah, in the NBA or MLB, that kind of injury means load management. In the NHL playoffs, you're just expected to function.
Okay, so physically, it's a toss-up between the NFL and NHL. Let's pivot to the math, because the sources argue that the NBA is weirdly the hardest league to win.
Specifically, if you aren't already a super team, it's this concept of determinism.
Meaning it's the most fair league, statistically.
Right. Because there are so many scoring possessions in a game, luck gets filtered out. Over a 7-game series, the better team wins something like 80% of the time.
Which sounds easier, but it creates what the sources call a superstar barrier.
Yes. If you don't have a top 5, a truly generational talent on your roster,
you have statistically almost zero chance of winning. You can't get lucky.
Precisely. In the NHL, a hot goalie can steal a series. In the NBA, the math just ruthlessly weeds out the good but not great teams.
And then on the other end of that spectrum, you have baseball.
Total chaos factory, high variance. In baseball, the quote-unquote better team only wins the series about 60% of the time.
I saw a statistician point out that to get the same level of certainty as an NBA series, the World Series would have to be a best of 75.
A best of 75? That's just insane. It would take until Christmas.
But that highlights the mental grind, right? It's not about acute pain. It's about managing failure over 162 games.
So when we stack it all up, the violence, the attrition, the math, the randomness, where does the consensus actually land?
The analysis points to the Stanley Cup as the hardest overall trophy.
And that's because it sits at that nasty intersection of high variance, meaning luck is a huge factor.
And extreme physical attrition. You have to win 16 times, almost always, while suffering from a significant injury.
But the nuance is that difficulty is subjective. It depends on who you are.
Right. If you're a dominant super team, the NHL or MLB is hardest because a lucky bounce can just end your season.
But if you're a mid-tier team, a good but not great team,
the NBA is the hardest. The system is mathematically designed to prevent you from ever winning.
That's the perfect takeaway. Physical survival favors the NFL and NHL, but statistical dominance makes the NBA the most exclusive club.
Which really makes you wonder what a trophy even represents. Are we rewarding the actual best team?
Or are we just rewarding the one that survived the specific structural flaws of their league's format?
Something to think about. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you the next deep dive.